Alright, welcome back. V.O.C. YouTube channel, NFL Tuesday. Playoffs are finally here. 6 NFL head coaching openings. My picks were not as good as they have been. Let's jump into it. Like I said, look, start off with my picks. I went 4-4. Look, it's not a losing record. In my defense, I picked most of the games before a lot of the opt-outs happened. So I picked that as a win. Joe Burrow, when I made my picks, he hadn't opted out yet. So, I mean, it's one of those fucking things. Like, dude, get off my back. Still a winning week because I didn't lose. That's all gambling is. And fuck it. Fucking whatever, right? All right. So, like I said, 6 head coaching openings. 2 that I didn't really agree with. Just because of the fact of how the organization works, and you would think it'd work. But we'll start out with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They obviously clearly fired Urban Meyer. He went 2-11 in his time. I'm going to go through every team, pros, cons, kind of the jobs, who I think they should hire. Pros for the Jags. Number 1 overall pick for the second straight year, Trevor Lawrence. Good young pieces at running back, wide receiver. Defense has some pieces. Secondary help, they need offensive linemen. Sure that up in the draft, offensive line-wise. Who I would hire if I was the Jacksonville Jaguars. The number 1 guy I'd hire is Bucs offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. Played for the Jaguars. Great offensive mind. Understands the game, how the NFL works, unlike Urban did. He's been around Tom now for the last 2 years. Won a Super Bowl last year. Really gets it. I think having Tom be around him expanded his horizon. Bruce Arians has really helped him too. I just think that's the only guy the Jags should hire, in my opinion. That's the first guy I'd call. It's the last guy I'd call. I'd get that done. But if it didn't happen, I'd go Jim Caldwell. He's 66 years old, but he's 62-50 as a head coach. Made it to a Super Bowl. The guy understands football. He's a disciplinary, no holds. He's old school. Tony Dungy, he was under Tony Dungy, so he gets that. Would work very well in helping the younger players understand the NFL. I think those would be the 2 guys I would call. Like I said, I'd call Byron Leftwich first. I'd get that deal done, and then if somehow that didn't happen, if he got he accepted a job anywhere else, which I don't foresee that happening. I foresee Byron Leftwich wanting to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but it could never happen. I don't know. Some other team could come in and give him more money. I don't know how this shit works, but that's just what I would do. All right, the Broncos. This is one of the people I didn't agree with firing, Vic Fangio. He went 19-30, right? 3 seasons, man, that's bad. And 3 seasons, yeah. Fucker didn't have a quarterback. Very good defense, very good offensive pieces, no quarterback. I would have gave him another year and got him a fucking quarterback. And then seen where it has gone. That's what I would have did. Because I think they're going after a quarterback. Trade-wise, like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. I think they're going to go after one of those. I would have kept Vic Fangio for a year. Just to see. Because, that's the thing. Is they have good defensive pieces. Great offensive weapons. But no quarterback. I wouldn't have fired him. It's not his fucking fault there's no quarterback. Kind of blame that on GM a little bit. GM's brand new. So you blame Elway on that, who's the president now. But I wouldn't have. It is what it is. They fired him. Vic, you can come back to the Bears and be our defense coordinator. I'm fine with that. Who I would hire if I were the Broncos, 2 names. Chiefs offense coordinator Eric Bieniemy. This guy's due for a job. It's one of those things where he is due for a job. Worked with Patrick Mahomes. Worked well with any quarterback that you get. It'd be perfect. Be a perfect fit. Understands the division. Understands the opponents. Gets the Broncos roster probably better than most because he's played them twice a year. So that's who I'd call first. And then if he said no, I would call former Dolphins head coach Brian Flores, who was fired out of the blue. Flores is 24-25, but 2 winning seasons the last 2 years. One with mishmash quarterback 2 years ago, and then with 2 of this year. And he got fired in Miami just based off of him and the GM didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, especially the quarterback situation. So that's basically why he got fired. So it's not like he's a bad coach. Everybody wants him as a coach. The Bears have been the first one to request a formal interview. That won't be the last. That's what I would do if I were the Broncos. I'd go offense with Eric Bieniemy, and then I'd stick with defense, and then get him a quarterback. The reports are Brian Flores wanted Herbert over Tua, so clearly he gets quarterbacks. The Vikings fired Mike Zimmer, who was 72-56-1, and their GM, Spillman. Look, this is what happens when you're in the middle in the NFL. I talked about this, a long time ago. If you're in the middle in the NFL, that's the worst spot to be. That's the fucking Vikings. They're never the best. They're never the worst. They're in the middle. And that's where Mike Zimmer and Spillman always were as head coach and GM. Right there in the fucking middle. They had good years where they were really good, but you never thought, man, they're the best team. And they've never been the worst team, but they've always been in the middle. That's the worst spot to be. And that is the definition of this era for Zimmer and Spillman, is the middle. Young offensive pieces, no quarterback. The defense is a little bit older, but there's still some pieces on that defense. Look, they went 8-9 this year. Who I would hire, I'd hire Brian Flores. I'd call Brian Flores, or I would hire Brian Daboll, the Bills' offensive coordinator, and I'd say, get a quarterback in here, because Kirk Cousins ain't fucking it. Get a quarterback, and then fucking play on from there. Brian Flores could help the defense and continue to grow the defense a little bit. That would be perfect. And just get him a quarterback. Brian Daboll could help expand on the offense with Justin Jefferson and Irv Smith Jr. and Dalvin Cook, and then bring in a good defensive coordinator. So, that would all work. That's what I would do. And Brian Flores, he's going to be he could be talked about for every one of these jobs, honestly, because he's that good of a coach. The Dolphins, they have a job opening now. They fired Brian Flores, like I said before, disagreements, eye to eye on basically quarterback and some different personnel. And he had 3 different offensive coordinators, and, because he's trying to figure it out. How does it work with Tua? How does it not? Look, he went 10-6, 9-8. Not too bad with mismatch at quarterback. In a division where you got to play Belichick and you got to play Josh Allen. Not too horrible, in my opinion. Like I said, really good defensive pieces. Tua is the question mark. You got to get a coach who, one, believes in Tua, and 2, agrees with the GM about Tua and some personnel decisions. Clearly, if you don't agree with this GM, you're fired. They need offensive line help. They need a few more weapons outside of Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki. But they have a really formidable defense, and they have some of the pieces there. Just need to retool a little bit, retool some things. But if it were me and I was Miami, I would have fired the GM, and I would have kept Brian Flores. Now the report is Brian Flores was basically the reason why Deshaun Watson wanted to go to Miami, and why Miami had interest was because of him. So, look, Miami's probably not out of the Deshaun Watson stakes. I think they said that. Their owner said they're not going to go after Harbaugh because the owner is a Michigan graduate, big donor to the school, and said, I'm not going to take Jim from my alma mater. Well, then you don't want to win that bad, because fuck the school at some point. You want to win. If I'm his age, 80-something, 70-something, however fucking old he is, he's an old fuck, and I want to win a Super Bowl that bad, fuck the school. You did great there, Jim. Now come fucking help me. That's what I would do. Because, Christ. Fuck. If you want to win enough, do it. Who I would hire is Eric Bieniemy, Brian Daboll. Get an offensive mind, help Tua, whatever. Get a great defensive coordinator in there, and fucking do it. That's what I would do. Throat getting a little parched there. Need some water. Now onto the Raiders. John Gruden was obviously resigned because of emails and shit like that. To me, just hired Rich Bisaccia, probably botching the name. He's the interim coach. He was a special teams coach before that. He got you through all the Gruden mess, and he got you to the playoffs. That's enough being said right there. I'd just give him the job. Reports are players like him. People like him in the locker room. He has a lot to say, a lot of pull. Just hire him. I know the Raiders want to go out and get a big splash. They did that with Gruden. But if this guy's the guy can win, just give him the chance. Give him a year, 2, see how it goes. and just go from there. It seems like he did a pretty good job navigating it through the Gruden thing, and then playoffs. That's what I would do. And then if you don't want to go that way, Brian Flores, defensive coordinator, not former defensive coordinator of the Patriots, former head coach of the Dolphins. That's who I'd call. Now on to the Bears. Look, clearly I'm a Bears fan. There's only one guy I want for this job. And if it doesn't happen, I'll be very, very disappointed. Roll the video.
Sometimes you gotta go back to actually move forward. And I don't mean going back to reminisce or chase ghosts. I mean going back to see where you came from. Where you been, how you got here. See where you're going. I know there are those that say you can't go back. Yes, you can. You just have to live in the right place.
Like I said, that's who I want for this job. That is the number one candidate. But let me talk about the fucksticks that got fired first. Matt Nagy was fired. He went 31-34. Don't really give a shit. It got worse and worse as the years went on with him there. Ryan Pace, a fucking village idiot. I will call him village idiot number 2, Nagy's village idiot number 3, and village idiot number 1, who should have been fired as well, is Ted Phillips, the president, who's been the president since 99-2000. He's a fucking retard. He's an idiot. This is how bad he is at his job, that they're not firing him, but they're basically stripping away the football side of his job as president. To where now the GM will report to the CEO, or the chairman, George McCaskey. So they won't even talk to Ted Phillips. They're only really keeping Ted Phillips on for the fact that they bought the property, the old racetrack. It's fucking floating my mind the name of it right now. Arlington Heights property. I don't even know why that flaunted my name. They're only really keeping him on because he is doing the business side of that. That's the only reason he's staying on. And he's going to be negotiating the contracts. I mean, it's fucking bullshit. Like, basically Ted Phillips has nothing to do with football anymore, but they're keeping him on for business ones. I don't fucking get it. I think it's retarded. I think Ted Phillips is an idiot. He's Village Idiot 1. Village Idiot 2 and 3 were fired, so why not fire Village Idiot 1? And the next row is going to be George McCaskey, who has now been basically the driving force leader of the call for the last 11 years and only 2 winning seasons, and idiot himself. So, and basically said in the interview, they asked him, well, who made you said you could keep your job? Well, basically it was his fucking mom, who is 99 years old. So, Virginia, I think you need to fucking, before you die, start cutting down some fucking low wage like your son, like Ted Phillips. Let's get a right coach in. Let's bring in Jim Harbaugh. Let's fucking do this. Look, we have a quarterback, we have a running back, we have a wide receiver in Darnell Mooney, and we have a tight end in Cole Kmet. Get Cole Kmet more fucking involved. The kid's good. We need offensive line help, and we have defensive stars. Roquan Smith is a fucking tank in the middle of the field. A tank. We still have Clemac. Robert Quinn just broke the record for Bears single-season sacks. Jalen Johnson on the outside. We need better secondary help. We get Eddie Jackson. I'd cut. He's garbage. 2 thumbs down. But there's still some good pieces that we have. Akeem Hicks, he's old. I'd get him gone. Eddie Goldman's still very formidable. So it's like we have pieces. We have pieces, man. We have pieces that are very, very good. So number one, who I want and who we should hire is Jim Harbaugh. Get it done. Just fucking get it done. Look, he's won as far as he can in Michigan. Look, he won the Big Ten. You beat Ohio State this year. It's only going to get tougher now. Jim's old school. A lot of people, Albert Breer's talking about this. And I really believe Albert Breer. He's talking about how The longer, basically is what he's saying is the longer that this pulls out for Michigan, the less likely it is he comes back, because Michigan's had a bunch of staff changes, and he hasn't filled them any of them yet. So everybody's like, whoa, that's kind of a red flag for, well, Jim maybe go. And then there's also people talking about how Jim felt slighted by the university because they dropped his pay. So there's number one. Now, do I think this is Jim also wanting to be loved and wooed and caressed? And yeah, because someone said that Jim loves to be wowed. He loves to be wooed. He wants that on him. So could this be a money play for Michigan? Yeah, it could. But I just think the way Jim coaches, he's old school, the way that NIL is happening, transfer portal, all the crazy shit that's happening, recruiting in the way it is, I think it's time for him to leave. If I'm Jim, I leave to go to the NFL. I think he could be number one for all of these jobs, but he's perfect for the Bears just because he played for the Bears, drafted by the Bears. Mike Ditka is one of his mentors, coaching-wise. You took Michigan as far as you can take it. Now come take the Bears as far as they can take it. And that's a fucking Super Bowl. And in my opinion, right now, the way the college football is laid out, it's easier to win in the pros than it is in fucking college. So you have a better shot. He was 44, 19-1 as a coach. He's exactly what George McCaskey was talking about. Hardworking, grinder, just that fucking gritty guys. Like, that's fucking Jim. Take your shirt off at practice when it's -5 and fucking run. Like, that's what we need. We need fucking someone to come in and fucking pound him in the face. Like, that's what we need, a hard nose. Nagy was a cute little offensive. No, we need a fucking grinder. That's what we need. Jim's the perfect guy for it, and we need it to happen. I think it's possible it happens. To the Bears, I don't know. That's just who I want. But Jim could be for all 6 of these jobs. Honestly, he could, because he's that good of a fucking coach. The likelihood of him leaving Michigan, I think, is about 50-50, maybe 60-40. Everybody keeps talking about it. There's a lot of reports he's working on a deal. Hasn't been announced. There's a lot of shit going on. All I know is Michigan hasn't come out and said nothing. Jim hasn't come out and said nothing. And if you look at all the people that these teams are requesting to interview, Jim's not going to be on. You're not going to know if he talked to a team or not, because they're just not. They're going to hide it a little bit. But that is my number one I want for the Bears. If that doesn't happen, I'll be pissed. But there's 2 good candidates I would take. Brian Flores, defensive guy, kind of reminds me of Lovie Smith. Bring him in. He can fix the defense. There's a young quarterback that he would like. He's kind of a Deshaun Watson type. Can move, mobility, can throw. Get a good offensive coordinator in here. Boom. Perfect. That'd be a home run hire all in itself if we couldn't get Harbaugh. 2 would be Brian Daboll. Offensive-minded. The guy fucking looks like Chicago. Have you seen the guy? He's a fucking 300-pound man, scruffy face, bald guy. Like, fucking that guy's going to pound sausages all week. Those would be the 2 guys. If we don't get Jim, I'll be disappointed. But if we get one of these 2 guys, I'd be happy. I'd be happy. Do the fucking right thing. GM-wise, I don't fucking know. I don't, GM's a fucking tough one, because either you can draft or you can't. So, I don't know. I have something in my pocket, I just remembered. So that's just my take on the whole Bears thing. GM-wise, I don't fucking know, right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they suck the GM, because I don't know. It's either you know talent or you don't. Can you draft or can you not? Can you trade players, can you find out? That's all that is. That's what I'd want. All right, playoff wildcard weekend, 6 games, 3 straight days of football. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's a fucking Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Jingle. This fucking brain is huge. It's big. It implodes. It knows what it's talking about. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Boom. NFL, call me. All right, first game, Raiders at Bengals. This feels like the Bengals could easily lose this game to the Raiders. Raiders are hot. Bengals are hot too. They're pretty good. I'll go with the Bengals, but I would not be surprised if the Raiders won. Pats at Bills. Bengals are a 5.5-point favorite. Pats at Bills. Bills are 4-point favorite. I'm going to go with the Patriots here. I just think it's Bill against Josh Allen, and I think he can win that matchup. Matt Jones will do just enough against the Bills defense. All right, Sunday, Eagles at Bucks. Bucks are an 8.5-point favorite. I think the Bucks win this game. And then I think they beat the Eagles. And then I think we start to question how much farther can the Bucks go. 49ers at Cowboys. Cowboys are a 3-point favorite. This is a tough game for the Cowboys because the 49ers come in on fire, beating the Rams, confidence, their hard-nosed defense. They'll fucking get at you. They run the ball. Opposite of the Cowboys. It comes down to 49ers. I'm leaning 49ers just because of the coaching and just because of how the 49ers are playing. And I trust the 49ers more than I trust the Cowboys. Like, the Cowboys could easily win this game, win it by 15 points. I just don't fully trust the Cowboys and how they fucking play sometimes. Steelers at Chiefs. Chiefs are a 12.5-point favorite. I think this is the easiest game to pick, but I do think it's going to be a little bit closer because this is most 99% likely that this is Ben Roethlisberger's last game ever. So I think it could be close because they're playing off motion. Like, man, we want to get Ben to this thing. Like, we can do it. But I think the Chiefs win because they're a more talented football team. But expect it to maybe be a little bit closer. All right, last game. It's on Monday night. Cardinals at Rams. Rams are a 4-point favorite. They split 1-1 in the regular season. Last time they played was a couple weeks ago. Rams beat the Cardinals. I'm going with that again. The Rams go to overtime with the 49ers, lose. I think that rejuvenated them a little bit, humbled them a little bit. Like, whoa, we're not as good as we thought we were. The Cardinals are. They lost a lot. They're just fucking up and down. They're too up and down for me. I think they're the frauds. I don't trust their coach. Their coach is just pretty face. I'll go with it. They're garbage. 2 thumbs down. So, yeah, that's my picks. Bengals, Patriots, Buccaneers, 49ers, Chiefs, Rams on Friday, Sunday, Monday. Friday, Sunday, Monday. Boom. Genius. Chicago, you know what to do. Fucking get Jim in the building to Hallis Hall, and we'll fucking love you forever. Just fucking do it. Because since I've been a Bears fan in my life, we've been fucking pitiful. Pitiful in the way we do things. Thanks for watching. That's going to do it for today's video. Monday's videos are going to be a little goofy now because of the fact of how my schedule kind of is. I have classes all day Monday, all day Wednesday. So Monday videos will still happen, but I'm going to have to film them on Sundays. So they're coming. So I'm going to have to kind of load them up on Sundays, and then they'll come out Mondays. That's what's going to happen. Because I have no fucking time on Mondays. I'm back in school now, right? I've been off for the last month. We're on Zoom, but still. I got shit to do all day Monday. But videos are still going to happen. Yet again, thanks for watching.